Hello, welcome to February manga's reading log. I am probably going to be posting this in March because I forgot that February was a shorter month. So it is currently the 28th of February and I just realized this is the last day, so I need to film it because I did say I was going to make a manga reading log and this is something I want to do each month, so I got to get into routine. I didn't read as much because of that, but it's also because physically wise, I don't have a lot of physical manga to read. I do have a bit now because I did get that manga haul and then I went manga shopping, but I feel like I fly through my manga really fast, and I think it was like in the beginning of February before I got that manga haul. I had no manga to read physically, so I was relying on digital manga. So I will be talking about my digital manga that I read, but I go through my manga pretty fast. So I usually have most of my collection is read. It's only now that I have like a small stack, like I have like 10 volumes to read, which isn't that much, but hopefully through hauls and stuff I'm able to just like accumulate a bit more. So I'll be taking my time reading those manga because once I read those, I'm gonna have to go back to digital, and I'm not sure exactly like if you guys like hearing things about like digital manga in reading logs, or if you just prefer for me to stick with physical manga. Also, I think I'm gonna do something different for next month because I'm gonna be honest, I forgot what I read in February, like the beginning of February. My mind cannot go that far back. My memory is awful. So I may have read these at like the end of January before it was in February, or I may have read some manga in February before it was in January. So I do apologize. We'll see if editing me like adds in any clips or something, but who knows. Anyway, let's get on to the video. So the first series I read, I'm pretty sure I read this in February, is Bungo Stray Dogs 1 and 2. This was in a vlog. I'm pretty sure I unboxed these in a vlog and I just never got to reading them until now because I know these two have already been covered in the anime and I've already watched the anime. I love the anime. It's in my top 10 favorite animes, so there wasn't really like, I knew what was going to happen, but I think just honestly like reliving the story and seeing all the characters that I love so much, it's honestly so nice. And I complain about yen press volumes so much, but honestly, like, I love the fact that usually with yen press volumes you get like at least a colored page, and these are honestly so nice to look at. I still don't think they're worth the price, honestly. Like, they're not worth the like $20 I have to spend, but I do like the addition of the colored pages. You know, it makes it feel more worth it. And we are getting an announcement of season 4, so I'm so excited for that. It does make me want to just wait for the anime, but I do want to pick up the manga because I'm so scared that Yen Press is going to do that weird thing where they just like have like one volume in a series like go out of print. So I decided to start collecting this. Hopefully I'll be able to find volume 3 because these are quite out of stock. It was a struggle just to find 1 and 2 for like a decent price in stock. I'm so glad my order didn't get cancelled. I don't really know how to give a synopsis for Bungo Stray Dogs because it's really like it's very bizarre in the sense that basically the characters we're following are based on real people. So if you recognize names like, I think the most obvious one is like Edgar Allan Poe, like obviously very famous author. So these are all based on different authors, and probably like you've seen like maybe on like TikTok, like people reading like picking up the books by these authors because of Bungo Stray Dogs. But yeah, I guess I can show you the synopsis because I really don't know how to describe it. The characters are really lovable. I love the characters. I love Dazai so much. I really relate to, I don't know how to say his name. I wish I would say his name. Him. He's a very relatable character to me. So yeah, it's kind of sad seeing a lot of myself in him. Definitely in one aspect. If you know the series, you probably know like what exactly I relate to him. Yeah, yeah. But I love it. The art is really nice. I love the Bungo Stray Dogs art, and you get like a substantial amount, I would say, compared to like some Yen press volumes, which are so thin. Like the Sasaki and Miyano volumes, they're so thin and they're like worth the exact same price as like this volume. Yeah, it's crazy, honestly, but I love it. I cannot wait to read more. I don't know like where the anime ends. Honestly, I would recommend the anime as well. I think the anime, like from what I've read, it seems to have done a pretty good adaptation, and it was honestly really enjoyable. So if you're not sure about getting into the manga, because I know the manga is quite expensive and there's a lot of out of stock volumes, hopefully not out of print, I would recommend just watching the anime. You can find it on Crunchyroll, I'm pretty sure. So go check it on Crunchyroll. And if you enjoy it, I would then go to the manga. So yeah. Okay, next up is Takane and Hana, volume 18. So I read the last volume and the bonus sequel stories, and honestly, this is just like so bittersweet. I'm not gonna flip through this because obviously it's the last volume, no spoilers, even though this cover is a big spoiler. But anyway, it was just so nice to see. It wrapped up really nicely. Everyone got their like happy ending. This is an age gap where basically we're following this girl where her older sister was having an arranged marriage with this guy, but her older sister didn't want to go to this arranged marriage meeting, so she takes her place and things ensue. He does find out her age, and stuff happens, but it is not creepy. With age gaps, I'm very like, it can't be in like a, obviously I would not condone this in real life, but since it's fiction, I'm kind of more lenient with age gaps. If it remains wholesome, the guy or the older person in general just doesn't pressure the person, the younger one, to do things they don't want, especially sexual things, and it remains wholesome, then I'm fine with reading the age gap, because it's something I can sort of like ignore. So if it is an age gap, be wary. But this was so cute. I was worried I wasn't gonna like, this ending was gonna be a bit off, because volume 17 was a terrible volume. I hate volume 17. I think the author, the mangaka, was just trying to make it, I don't know, like maybe try to make it like span 18 volumes or something. I don't know why that volume 17 was necessary. That volume 17 could have not existed, and just like, you know, include like the ending scene in volume, like some of the scenes in volume 17, and then just put in volume 18 and make it a bigger volume, because there was this whole thing. It was so bizarre, it was so weird, it was so dramatic. It was like the kind of dramatic where it's like I can't even, like that suspension of belief, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? But volume 18 reminded me why I love this series so much. The characters are so lovable, it's so cute. I love the side characters. Oh, amazing. And I think what is really cool in the bonus sequel stories is we do see them 7 years later, so you can kind of guess like what exactly we see. It's so cool seeing everyone like grown up and like how they've changed and their personality and the life of these two. I really hope the mangaka does do maybe like a sequel of just like when they're in their adulthood, and specifically their marriage life, and when they something happens, you know, marriage, you know, yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm kind of implying. But anyway, I really hope the mangaka does do something like that, and and Viz decides to print it in English, or like even just like another like this size volume with like just like more side stories instead of just like this really thin sequel stories, I'll be really happy with. But yeah, I love this. I don't have much to say because obviously I can't really go into spoilers, but if you read this series and really enjoyed it, let's talk in the comments because I love it so much. And then okay, next up is a series I love so much. It has become a new favorite of mine, and that is The King's Beast 1 to 4. So I reread 1 and 2, and then I read 3, and then if you saw my manga shopping vlog, I got 4 and I read 4 just today actually. This series is amazing. This is by the same mangaka who did Dawn of the Arcana, and honestly, I cannot believe they are made by the same people because this series is like infinitely times better. Dawn of the Arcana, I don't enjoy that much, but I am still reading it because I do find like I read 8 volumes of it and I'm like I might as well continue it. But I really don't like it, and the reason why I'm comparing these two is because the fact it's actually set in the same world as Dawn of the Arcana. But this is like, I would say Dawn of the Arcana had a more like European setting. This is like a Chinese fantasy setting, I would say, like Chinese inspired, the architecture. I think the mangaka even said in here. So, but I love this so much. I love the female character. The male guy is also really likable. And since these 2 volumes were released at the same time in Japan, they actually connect, which is so cool. This series is just amazing. Like words cannot express how much I love it. And if you're a bit iffy about Dawn of the Arcana, please go try out The King's Beast because this is so much better. You do not need to read Dawn of the Arcana to know what happens in The King's Beast because the mangaka does go back to explain the world and the social class and all of that. So you don't need to worry about that. I actually read The King's Beast before Dawn of the Arcana, and since I really enjoyed The King's Beast, I picked up Dawn of the Arcana thinking, oh, it's gonna be like just as good or something. It's awful. The romance is so much slower. You can see the progression, but it's like not insta love, and it's just it is chef's kiss, honestly. And the art is amazing. Like, if you cannot tell from these covers already, the art is stunning. Oh my gosh, the mangaka did such a good job with this series. And there's some like pretty like dark undertones to this series because basically we're following this young girl who decides to dress up as a boy and work as a servant for the 4th prince because her twin brother originally worked under him, but he had died, and rumors have said that he was the one that murdered him. So she goes and dresses up as a guy to get revenge on her twin brother. So obviously we already got like a pretty interesting premise. This is one where it's like a girl dresses up as a guy, but obviously her feelings are not going to change immediately. Like, she's not going to immediately like fall heads over heel for the guy. And I like how like you see how she becomes wary of the guy at first. Like, even when he shows like one kind act, she's not immediately like, oh my gosh, wait, he's a completely different person, I'm in love with him now. Like, she sees like she gains a bit of trust, but then she's also like, is this what he's showing, like really a true act and stuff? And she continues being more hesitant, but she starts opening up more, and I like that. I don't like it when like they see one kind act and then boom, it immediately is like, oh, they're like the new god or something. I'm like, no. So I like that. The dark undertones is that there is a social class. So basically the Arjins, which are like half human, half animal, and then the humans, and obviously the humans are like the supreme ones, like the supreme race. So obviously there's that whole like imbalance of power. There's like slavery. There is implied like prostitution, and there's a lot of like talk, not a lot of talk about it, but like you hear some of the dialogues some of the characters say, and you can tell what they're hinting at both the twin brother and her, which is very unfortunate. So there is some dark undertones, but I really like how it's progressing. This also seems to be like more romance. Like there is like the political aspect of like finding out who murdered her brother and like getting justice for him, but then like the romance also does take a big part in the series, which I love. It's something I wanted in Dawn of the Arcana, but I didn't get that. The romance was very unsatisfying in that, but I love this. I need to get volume 5 soon because this series is just so good, and I need more people to read this, talk about it. It is amazing. Like if the covers already just like don't convince you, like I don't know what will, because like on covers alone these are stunning. I'll show you the back covers because they're so pretty as well. All the characters are really attractive, as you can see. This is one of my favorites. I just love it. Like hellooo, the art is stunning. This is probably my least favorite one, but it's still really pretty. So there is also like, obviously since it has to do with like royalty and stuff, there is the political aspects. But yeah, overall, highly recommend this series. I cannot rave about this enough, and I wish there was like more merchandise for this because I cannot find any merchandise of this, and I really want to like, I don't know, like maybe get like an acrylic stand of it or something, but they have nothing, and it's so frustrating. But it's so good, and yeah, I hope Viz prints this faster because I think they're like on volume 8 or something, and right now there's only 5 volumes out, and the 6th volume isn't coming out until like March or April. It's either March or April. So Viz, hurry up and print this, please. I need more. I might just end up reading the scans, honestly, if I can find like the further chapters beyond 5, because I will be picking up 5 soon. I will read the scans because I love this series so much. Okay, and then the last physical manga series I read, which took up a chunk of like my time, is volume, I don't even know if this can get in frame. It is volume 5 to 13 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I watched the anime of Jujutsu Kaisen. I loved it, like many people, so obviously I had to pick up the manga. And it was like I read 1 to 4, and obviously that was like stuff that was already covered in the anime, so it was like still interesting just to like live the world and like see the characters I love. Especially I love Yuji, I love Inumaki. Those two are by far my favorites. He also is becoming like a strong contender for number 3 for favorite characters. I really like him. Oh, he's so hot. But yeah, I don't really think I need to give a synopsis for Jujutsu Kaisen, because if you've been in like even just like the anime community, you must have at least like heard of Jujutsu Kaisen. It's amazing. I love it. It's one of the like, I wouldn't say like few, because I feel like I do watch quite a few shonen, but like this is one of the few shonens that I had the urge to collect, that I watched the anime of, because usually when it comes to like shonen anime, I'm pretty satisfied with just like watching the anime and then like hopefully just waiting for another season, because I know it's gonna get like another season. But I had like the strong urge to collect this series, and it was quite hard at first to like get any of these volumes, because obviously this and Chainsaw Man were like the like 2 series that would go out of stock so fast. But I think Viz realized how like in demand these series were, and they seem to be like printing more of them, because I didn't struggle at all to get 5 to 13. I was able to get these all at once together, so I think that's honestly amazing. This series is so good. The art is amazing. I think one thing that I hear a lot of praise for in Jujutsu Kaisen is the the well-written female characters, which I agree. I really like them. My one complaint with Jujutsu Kaisen is basically throughout the thing there will be like, okay, I don't think I have one here. Let me try to find it. Okay. Basically, when they have this like supplementary info thing, and it's like the mangaka has to explain like the power system and like the world and stuff through these like sentences and stuff, and I'm like, I really wish the mangaka could just embed it into the story in a way that it's understandable, and we're not just getting like chunks of writing, having to read and just somehow understand it. And it really bothers me. That's the one complaint I have. Another thing is in volume 8, it does a really weird skip. What is it? See, like this sort of thing, it's just like, actually this one isn't bad because it's kind of just explaining like some stuff, but let's see. See, it goes from like here, like a really serious scene, to like a beach scene, and then it's just like, this is how they explain how they got from here to here. And I'm just like, what the hell? So I think although I love Jujutsu Kaisen, I do find there are some issues with it. It's mainly just with like the world building and the way they explain the power system and how Jujutsu works and all of that. But overall I really love the series. Highly recommend. I mean, if you haven't already watched or read the manga, what are you doing? Like, at least give it a try. It is an amazing shonen. It is one that I also hear people calling it basic, but I really like don't think so. Like, I guess you could say it is basic with like, it has like the conventional shonen tropes and all of that, but I think the way it's executed is amazing. The characters are amazing. I love Yuji as a main character. Shonen, like, it is so hard to sometimes find like good shonen protagonists that aren't just annoying as hell or are really creepy. Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins, hate him with a passion. So it's just so refreshing to see a character like Yuji. And I'm currently up to the Shibuya arc, which is apparently the really depressing arc. So I'm really scared to see what happens, but I need to pick up volume 14 soon. But technically it's not out here in Australia, but I can order from Book Depository, so I will eventually. Okay, I feel like I talked a lot about these series. I don't know if you enjoy like really like in-depth talk. I don't even know if these are like in-depth, but if you prefer to talk, like if you prefer for me to talk about these series a lot, or you just want summary and then like maybe like one or two thoughts on it and then move on. But because I have so few physical series, I wanted to kind of really go into it. I'm not going to be talking about my digital manga series. I don't know how many are really interested in this, but yeah. First, I'm not going to be saying the names because these are very like, they're like complicated and I don't want to butcher the Japanese, so I'll just put the title and the cover. So the first series I read is this one. Basically, we're following this guy who's kind of has the reputation of like a delinquent. Like, people see him as a delinquent at school and all of that because he gets into a lot of fights. But the thing is, actually, he really enjoys like this one hero show, and it's like every weekend he goes visit like this hero play, and I would say he like doesn't like fall in love like romantically, but he like falls in love with this one person who's acting as his like favorite like hero or something because of his form and the way he executes it, and he thinks he does it so well that no one else has done it, which is why he keeps on going back to this one play every weekend. And then by chance these two were able to talk, and a romance blossoms between the two. This, so cute. It is so unbelievably wholesome, and like the plot twist of finding out who is under the mask. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Like, oh, this is a BL that doesn't get talked about a lot, but I highly recommend. I read this like right at the beginning of March, so I don't know how much I remember, but from what I remember, super cute. It's only one volume, 6 chapters. It is not long. I will hopefully eventually pick up the physical volume. I do plan on doing that. So yeah, I love it. Highly recommend. This is one like very underrated BL. So cute. Next up is this series where basically we're following this boss. He's seen as very like capable, very just like, you know, can do the job, very serious. But when he gets depressed, he basically shrinks to like chibi size. And this is discovered by one of his subordinates, and basically it's just them and their friendship. This isn't a BL. This is like very strong bromance. It's actually a seinen, very strong bromance. It's so cute. Once again, I actually read this because I read another series that's sort of like this that I really enjoyed, so I was looking for something like that, and I'll talk about that because that's still ongoing. So this is all the completed digital manga I read. It's also very short. I read a lot of like romance type series because I just need something to fill the void of having no Valentine. Anyway, super cute. The art is really nice. I really like it, and the like romance between the two is honestly really cute. Next up is this series. This is just simply a slice of life childhood friends who became lovers. So it's an established couple. They already were dating, I'm pretty sure, from my memory, and it's just like basically their slice of life going through high school, dating each other. The art is stunning. It's like a watercolor like sort of feel to it, which I love. So cute. This one especially made me feel so lonely because one of my favorite tropes is childhood friends to lovers. I love it so much. It's the plot, as you can see, is very like simple, but the way it's executed is just so wholesome, so cute, so like fluffy. Like if you just want a really cute childhood friends to lovers romance, I highly recommend this one. We only get to see them, however, like when they're in, I'm pretty sure like middle school or high school. We don't get to see them when they're older, which is very unfortunate. I wish we could, but whatever. It's still really cute. Next up, we have one I can actually say, and that is Living With Him. And basically this guy, he like, I think he lives in a family with like only girls, so he like knows how to cook, knows how to clean, like he can do all of those things. And because in high school he was so focused on just like looking after his mom, looking after his sister, he was really excited to go to college and live in a dorm by himself because he's like, it's like his college debut, until he realizes that he is rooming with his childhood friend who's like that popular, everyone likes him childhood friend, and something blossoms between the two when they're living together. So it's like childhood friends to lovers, as I said, one of my favorite tropes. This one wasn't as good as the rest. I found it cute, but I don't know, the romance I didn't enjoy as much compared to the other ones. The plot is really simple, but it's not even like the romance was super cute where I was fine with the plot being simple. It's just I didn't get the same feelings as I did for the other series I talked about. I still really enjoyed it though. It is like 10 chapters, so once again really short, but it was honestly alright. The next manga series I'm going to be talking about is Kimi to Parade. This is an age gap BL. I read quite a few BL this month. Basically, we're following this teacher who recently just got dumped by his ex-girlfriend, and after that he has to go to work, and then there he meets his like one of his friends, and who introduces him to who is his lover, this boy who is actually his student. when I say like teacher and student, it's like it wasn't like in a classroom setting, it was like in a tutor. It felt like a tutor setting to me. I'm not saying it's any better, but obviously, as I said before, with Takane and Hana, age gaps, I'm more lenient about it in fiction, just depending on how it's executed. And basically, those two become close. Don't worry, no cheating. There's no cheating, but it's so cute. There is like some like, I wouldn't say like homophobia, but it's like the student has these feelings of why would you date me when there's like a girl who can give you so much more, like that sort of feeling, because he is gay, and it's really sad, but it's overall really cute. The two have a really cute relationship. The art is also really pretty. This is one I definitely will be rereading. I love this one so much. It was so cute. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And then the last completed one I read is Otona-chan, something like that. I'll put the title up. This one is really cute. If you can't even tell by the cover is stunning. Basically, it's 2 stories, and I have read the first story so many times. I love the first story so much. The second story I would never read. I would simply only read the first story. But I decided to read the first story and also read the second story. So the first story is, once again, childhood friends to lovers. This guy who's seen as really like childlike, really innocent, really likes eating sweets. So he has like that percent of like, oh, it's just so cute and all of that. And like, he couldn't possibly have any romantic experience. He can't be like, and it's like that thing of, oh, I want to be an adult. So there's this teacher that comes in who he like falls for, but he realizes it's not actually like falling for, it's more like admiration for the teacher, because the teacher's so mature, so cool. And obviously there's like sort of, it's like a love triangle. I'm saying quotation marks because obviously there's a childhood friend who likes the guy but doesn't say his feelings, and basically the teacher just helps them. And it's so cute. I love it so much. The art is really pretty as well. Very wholesome, very cute. The second story I didn't like that much. I forgot what it's about because it's really not that memorable for me. I'll put a synopsis up here, but it's not that good. I will only reread the first story. The second story I just didn't like that much. Yeah, it's really not that good. It took me a while to read that, even though it was like only like 3 chapters, because pushing through it was difficult, but I wanted to see if it gets better. But I don't know, I really like the first one. Okay, next up is my manga that I read, which are ongoing. So first we have this one, and this is the one that I talked about before, how I said, oh, I read this manga because I read another manga that I was looking to fill the void after I read it, and it's this one. This one is so cute. Once again, it's another like bromance one, where basically this story follows this guy, the boss, who seems very composed, very chill, serious, or the one that everyone can look up to. But in reality, he's very clumsy and he makes a lot of mistakes. And one of the subordinates like finds out about this because he had moved to this new workplace. He suffered a lot of harassment from his previous boss, so he was very scared. But then after finding about it, he begins to have a strong liking to the boss, and it's so cute. I love the boss so much. He's so cute. Like, even though he's quite old, like just the way he like thinks and interacts, oh, it's so cute. I definitely want to reread it because there hasn't been like a chapter update in a while, and I miss the series so much. So highly recommend. It's a bromance, but it's really good. Next up, let's get into some shoujo. First up is one I love. It is definitely a new favorite, and that is And Yet You Were So Sweet. This is one that is published digitally by Kodansha but not released physically. So Kodansha, step up your game and publish this digitally because we need this. This is amazing. It has kind of a weird premise, but it's so cute. Basically, this girl, she gets rejected after confessing her love to this guy, so she vows that she will never like fall in love or something, like, or she'll only have like an unrequited love and she'll never confess again. And this guy, the like popular guy, finds out, and he says to her, let's play this game where you have an unrequited love for me to get over the guy you originally liked. And she goes along and is like, yeah, sure. Obviously, we know that's not going to stay unrequited for that long. Obviously. And it's so cute. It's very obvious, like, the guy clearly likes the girl, and the girl is very just confused about her feelings, which can be quite frustrating, but I find it very endearing. It's so cute. I love shoujo like this. It's so cute, honestly. I feel like I've said cute, wholesome, like, for all these digital series, because I told you, February, need to fill that void. I highly recommend this, honestly. It's amazing. You can get this digitally by Kodansha. Hopefully, if we get more sales for it, it means they might publish it digitally, but I'm just gonna buy the physical Japanese volumes. I'm not gonna buy digital. I do not care about digital manga at all. But it's so cute. The art is really pretty as well. I really enjoyed the art style, and yeah, I just love it. So good. Next up is this series. This one is a bit of an interesting one, where basically there's this like prestigious family who has this really like excellent butler, and the head of the family takes in this girl. She's not like everyone else, in the sense that she has blonde hair because her mother had an affair with a foreigner, so she has like that blonde hair, very like a Western look. And because of some issues in the past, she has a lot of like trust issues, so she's very like aggressive to anyone who tries to go near her. She doesn't trust anyone, but obviously she gains a trust for the butler, and like a romance ensues. It's really weird, but I find it really cute. I really like the girl. I find it really like just really cute. However, this hasn't been updated in a very long time. It hasn't been updated since 2020. The physical volumes are also really hard to find, so it's not like I can go buy them and then like translate them. Like, even through websites like Macari and all that, I cannot find the volume. So this is one that I probably will not be able to continue, unfortunately, but one I really did enjoy and wish I could get more chapters of. That's the end of my manga reading log for February. I feel like there wasn't that much manga, but I feel like I talked about them a lot. Currently this video is at like 44 minutes, so we'll see how much I can cut down. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this kind of video, let me know, or if you want me to do something different for my manga reading logs. I think for the month of March, I will try something different and do weekly, so I can have more like a clear like memory of what exactly like my feelings for a series, because especially with the digital ones, I forget a lot about my feelings for it, because it's like once I'm done, okay, I move on. So yeah, but thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.